The sound of hurried footsteps echoed through the marble floors of Crestview Towers, a place where glass walls reflected power, ambition, and pride. Every morning, the CEO, Richard Hale, walked through those grand hallways, his mind already buried in board meetings and million-dollar deals. To most, he was an untouchable man, sharp, cold, and focused on numbers more than people. But that morning, something unexpected happened that would not only change him but also everyone in his company forever. It began with a map. Richard had just returned from an international trip, tired and slightly disoriented. Standing in the lobby, he glanced at a complex layout printed in French. Frustrated, he muttered, "Who even writes these instructions in another language?" Just then, a woman in a navy uniform pushing a cleaning cart paused nearby. She looked up timidly, her face calm but curious. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly, "would you like me to translate that for you?" Richard looked at her in surprise. A janitor offering to read French? He raised an eyebrow but handed her the map. She glanced at it briefly, then explained fluently, translating every detail with ease and precision. He was stunned. "You speak French?" he asked, his tone somewhere between disbelief and intrigue. She nodded, smiling faintly. "Yes, sir. French, Spanish, German, Italian, Mandarin, Russian, Arabic, Portuguese, and English." Richard blinked. 9 languages, he repeated, half laughing as though it couldn't be real. But it was. Backhand index pointing right. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of hidden potential, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel, because stories like this deserve to be heard. Her name was Maria Delgado. Born to immigrant parents, she had once been a top linguistics student at a prestigious university overseas. But life had taken cruel turns. After losing both parents in an accident and being unable to afford further education, she moved to the city in search of work. The janitorial job at Crestview wasn't her dream, but it paid just enough to keep her younger brother in school. Each night after her shift, she'd study languages through old books and YouTube videos, not for money or fame, but because learning gave her hope. Richard couldn't shake off that moment. The next day, he watched her quietly as she cleaned the conference room after a meeting. Every movement was calm, deliberate, almost graceful. He noticed how she greeted everyone with respect, from receptionists to executives who often ignored her presence. Something inside him stirred. That night, he looked up her employment file. She'd been with the company for nearly 3 years, never missing a day, never asking for a raise. The following morning, Richard invited Maria to his office. Nervously, she walked in, her hands folded before her. The CEO stood by the window overlooking the skyline, the golden sunlight reflecting off his suit. "Maria," he began, "I've been thinking about what you said yesterday, about the languages you speak. Would you be willing to help me with a new project?" She hesitated, unsure. "A project, sir?" "Yes," he said. "We're expanding globally, and I realized we've been hiring translators when the talent is right here in our building." His voice softened. "I want you to assist our international communications team." Tears welled in Maria's eyes. For the first time, someone saw her for more than her uniform. That day, she stepped into a different world, the world of conference calls, presentations, and boardrooms. She translated contracts, helped bridge language gaps with foreign clients, and even taught basic phrases to staff members to make them more inclusive. Her passion was contagious. Soon, people who had once walked past her without notice began greeting her by name, asking her for help, and admiring her brilliance. But not everyone was happy. A few employees whispered that she was just a janitor who got lucky. Some doubted her, even tried to sabotage her translations. When an important client from Japan visited, one such employee deliberately gave her incorrect information to embarrass her. During the meeting, Richard noticed the tension but stayed silent. As the conversation progressed, Maria corrected the misinformation gracefully, switching between English and flawless Japanese. The client was so impressed that he offered Crestview a major contract on the spot. After the meeting, Richard gathered the entire staff in the main hall. With cameras flashing and curious eyes watching, he stood beside Maria. 3 days ago, he began, I saw something that reminded me why leadership is not about titles or corner offices, it's about recognizing talent where others don't bother to look. He turned to Maria. This woman, who started as our janitor, speaks 9 languages fluently. She has helped us secure our largest international partnership this year. The room erupted in applause. Some cheered, some cried, and even those who had once looked down on her stood in admiration. Richard continued, from today, Maria will join us as our new global communications officer. The announcement hit like a wave of emotion. Maria stood frozen, tears streaming down her face as everyone clapped. Richard smiled warmly and said, You earned this. You've shown us that greatness doesn't always wear a suit, sometimes, it carries a mop and dreams no one else can see. From that day on, Maria became a symbol of hope in Crestview Towers. Her story spread across the company, inspiring others to treat everyone with respect. She started a small initiative to teach language basics to the cleaning and cafeteria staff, helping them gain confidence to interact with executives. Within months, employee morale skyrocketed. The company's culture changed, walls of hierarchy began to crumble. And Richard? He changed too. The man who once measured success in profits began to measure it in people, in their stories, their struggles, and their resilience. He often told visitors, the best lesson I ever learned didn't come from a Harvard graduate, it came from a janitor who refused to stop learning. Maria never forgot her roots. Even after her promotion, she'd occasionally help the cleaning crew or share lunch with the same humility she had from day one. Whenever someone asked her how she managed to stay so grounded, she'd smile and say, because language teaches you one truth, we're all human, just speaking in different words. Backhand index pointing right. If this story touched your heart, please hit the like button, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more real-life stories that prove kindness and faith can change everything. Speech balloon before you go, comment below. I believe in second chances. Because sometimes, the greatest talent is hidden in the most unexpected places, just waiting for someone to listen.